there for us.
Nice. Thank God.
Yeah, maybe we should do it again and just have Shirley sing. All right, let's get started. So I want to pick up where we left off yesterday, and we're just going to keep talking about lead generating to an appointment, lead generating to a referral, or lead generating to adding somebody to our database. And the purpose of a call is to get the appointment. The purpose of the appointment is to get face-to-face with someone who will eventually hire you. And the key word that I'm sharing is eventually, because our mindset is we're looking for a deal right now. Most people are. And I get that, especially if you need a deal right now. And one of the hardest things to do is to work as if you don't need the deal. However, it's the best thing you could do. Because when you come from a place where you need the deal, then it's not about providing great service. And you're not conveying that you care about the person that you're speaking to or that they can trust you. So it's critically important mindset to come from a place of contribution. Every conversation starts with care. Every conversation starts with gratitude, and bring value to every conversation. And you guys have seen this diagram before. And basically what we're looking at is we're looking at the life cycle of a real estate transaction. The day someone buys a home, if your average commission check is $10,000, then the value of that lead is $10,000. And the very next day, the value of that same contact, lead, whatever you want to call it, is $0. Now, the average time between purchases is 7 to 10 years. And if you are on my team and I gave you a lead right there, you would say, this lead is no good, it's going in the trash. And if I gave you a lead right here, you'd say, holy cow, John, that's an awesome lead. They're looking to buy a house in the next 30 days. They're pre-approved. They know exactly what they're looking for. And I'm super excited. Thank you for the opportunity. Now, here's what I would tell you is the value of both of those leads is the same thing. They're both worth $10,000. The key is this area here in the middle, which is follow-up. So if I got this lead, all I need to do is create a systematic plan in order to stay in touch with them, in order to follow up, so that I'm creating emotional proximity. So when they're ready to buy or sell, they work with me. Simple, right? Now, let's go back to what I was saying before. If the purpose of the call is to get an appointment, then what do we do when we go on the appointment? All right. If I show up at your front door, I'm going to show up on time. I am going to call ahead of time to confirm the appointment. I am going to dress professional. I am going to knock on the door at 4 o'clock if our appointment is at 4 o'clock, and right from bold, when Michael answers the door, good afternoon, Michael. My name is John. We had an appointment at 4, and it's 4. May I come in?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. So Michael, before I go any further, would you like me to take off my shoes?
No, your shoes are fine, John. Thank you.
Okay, cool. And I'm looking, hold on one second, guys. Don't go away. So today I've got one of these things around my neck, right? So that when you answer the door, I look like the dude from Batman. And I am going to judge whether this stays on based on if you answer the door wearing a mask. If you do, stays on. if you answer the door not wearing a mask, it's the same script as the shoe script, which is, Michael, by the way, I'm not sick. Nobody in my home is sick. However, if you would like me to, I will leave on the mask or I could take it off.
John, you can take off the mask. I'm fine.
There we go. All right, now my job as I'm going through the property with Michael is to convey that that I care about him, that he can trust me, and that I know what I'm doing. So Michael, as we tour the home, what I would love for you to do is show me your home just like you would if I were a buyer. And I'm gonna take lots of notes. And this is the information I'm gonna use to help you sell your home. I'm also gonna ask you a lot of questions. And I'm gonna ask you questions that a buyer would ask me so that I have the information I need in order to help you sell your home. Fair
Sounds
enough?
good.
Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, cool. So guys, let's just stop there. I mean, I didn't get past the front door. And I want to break down a couple very important things to you. When they open the door, that is your Kodak moment. And for those of you who are younger than 40 years old, you're probably going, Kodak, what the heck is that? So it's a camera. and you have 10 seconds to make a great first impression. And that first impression is going to be determined by how you dress, whether or not you show up on time, how professional you are. And it also has a lot to do with your presentation. Yeah, I get that, Alan. So let's reverse this again. Okay, so Michael opens the door. Good afternoon, Michael. My name's John Dietz. We had an appointment today at 4 o'clock, and it's 4 o'clock. May I come in?
Sure.
Now, how excited are you about me coming over to your home, right? Not at all. So be enthusiastic. If you're happy and you know it, tell your face. So smile. And trust me, you guys may think, well, John, that's kind of silly. That comes natural. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. You have to work at smiling and talking. Trust me, I had to. It's not something that came natural for me. I'm also going to be enthusiastic. I mean, I'm excited to be here. Michael has a home that he wants to sell. I don't care if it's next 30 days or a year from now. I'm excited to be here. Now, I use 2 embedded commands in the opening conversation. So Michael, I'd love for you to take me on a tour of your home. Pretend I'm a buyer. I'm going to ask a lot of questions and I'm going to write a lot of notes because this is the information I'm going to use to help you sell your home. All right, so far so good? So let's pause. The purpose of a call is to get the appointment. The purpose of the appointment is to create a foundation to follow up from. I'm also looking for opportunity. And if I see opportunity right away, then I'm going to close for a list appointment. And the way opportunity usually shows up is it shows up as frustration. Now, talk to me. Tell me what you got so far.
So say this is a FSBO and we're in doing the home tour. Are we just saying that we're taking down a bunch of notes to present to all of our buyers? Yeah, so Alan, I'm just going to word it just a little bit different because I'm pretty careful not to use the word buyer because I don't want somebody asking me later on where my buyer is. Okay, so I'm going to take a lot of notes. So Alan, as we tour your home, I'm going to ask you questions and I'm going to take lots of notes. This is because this is the information that I'm going to use to help you sell your home. Okay, yes, I see.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay. What else, guys? Love the birds, by the way. What else?
John?
Yes.
I know that we are already at their home now, but what if they tell us, no, I'm not comfortable of you coming in my home now, and then do we explain to them that, sir, the price are gonna plummet when the corona passes? It's like, do we tell them? Do we sound too pushy? Like how to?
So here's how you are not gonna sound pushy. Don't tell them anything. Ask questions. Ask questions.
And we talked about this yesterday, so I thank you for reminding me that we're still in a national health crisis, because my mindset has already shifted, that it's time to get back to work. And I'm coaching you based on building a successful real estate career over the next 5 years, right? And okay, so we're still in a health crisis. And yes, there are still going to be people who are not going to be comfortable with you coming over to their home. Now that may last another 30 days. It could last another 90 days. I don't know. And for that time period, Anna, if somebody said, you know, I'm not really comfortable with anybody coming over to my home. Guys, I'm going to mute all of you. And Anna, unmute yourself because I'm talking to you.
Okay, done.
I didn't mute you yet. You're going to have to do it again. Okay. So if somebody says they're not comfortable with me coming over to their home because of COVID, then I'm simply going to respond with, absolutely, I understand. And Anna, we have a couple choices. If you want, you can do a video tour of your property and email that to me. And then that way I could use that information and start working to find someone who would be interested in purchasing your home. Remember, the purpose of the appointment is to build a foundation to follow up from. I'm still doing that. It's still mission accomplished. Okay, now, I could come over wearing a mask and gloves and make sure that you're safe. And if you're not comfortable with that, I completely understand. If you want to send me a video, that would be great. And I will stay in touch with you.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, talk to me. We're at the front door. We're creating a Kodak moment where first impressions are everything. We want to convey that we care about the person we're meeting with, that they can trust us, and that we know what we're doing. And all we're doing is starting the conversation. By the way, this is the same thing for every face-to-face appointment. Whether it's a for sale by owner, an expired, a listing appointment, doesn't matter. You meet them at the front door. Hey, David, we had an appointment for 4 o'clock and it's 4 o'clock. May I come in? Thank you so much for inviting me over. I'm excited to have this opportunity to help you sell your home. Before I go any further, would you like me to take my shoes off, or are they okay? Now I would love for you to take me on a tour of your home. Pretend I'm a buyer. I'm going to ask you lots of questions and I'll take a lot of notes, because this is the information I'm going to use to help you sell your home. Yes, somebody was talking to me.
Well, I have a question.
Sure,
I
Paige.
thought that we're not allowed to physically be inside the property with the buyer or the seller.
Yeah, I don't know what the CDC guidelines are right now, guys. Just don't break the law because you were part of John Dietz's coaching call. If you're not allowed to be in there, don't go. Just put this information away and use it when you are allowed to go.
Okay.
Okay? Anybody
Thank
else?
you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're touring the home and we're asking lots of questions. What kind of questions should you ask? Perfect. How old is, if the home is 20 years old or older, ask them what kind of updates they've made to their property. David, Alex, as you take me on a tour of your home, if you would, please point out all of the updates that you've made. And as we're touring the home, I'm going to ask, how old is your roof? If it's an older home, I mean 40, 50 years old, and I can clearly see that they've updated the windows. I can see that you've got new windows. When did you put those in? Because that's a question a buyer is going to ask, right? The buyer is going to say they've got new windows. Do you know when they put them in? And as a real estate agent, if you don't know that information, you're not doing your job.
John, question for you.
Yeah.
Would you ask questions that might put them on the defensive, such as, have you pulled permits?
No.
Okay, stay
Not
away.
on-
That would put them
Not
on the
until I'm sitting at the listing table and we're filling out paperwork.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, no. How old is your roof? How old is the AC? If it's a larger home, how many units are you on? Did you replace both of them at the same time? You have an absolutely beautiful kitchen. Wow, love this. Are these granite countertops? You're not going to assume they are because they could be another product. maple cabinets. I'm going to nod my head. I'm writing it down, maple cabinets. In other words, that's a question. Yes, they're maple cabinets. Stainless steel appliances, travertine floors. You have crown molding, wood floors. These are absolutely beautiful. If they back to water and there's a boat behind their home, I'm going to ask, what kind of water access do you have? In other words, if they are on the intercoastal and they have access to the Atlantic Ocean, is it direct access, or are there any fixed bridges that they have to go under, meaning that we're only going to be able to put a smaller boat behind the house? I'm going to ask hot water heater. I already mentioned AC, just all of the appliances. Think about every question that a buyer would ask and just ask a lot of questions. I'm also going to ask, hey, by the way, if your home would have sold, where were you going to move to? Or if it's a for sale by owner, by the way, Paige, when your home sells, where are you moving to? And she says, I'm moving to Tampa. Cool. What's in Tampa? Or what's important to you about moving to Tampa? How soon would you like to be there? If they're staying local, have you started looking at properties? Are you working with a real estate agent to help you find that home? If I could send you properties that fit your criteria, or if I could give you my new consumer app that would allow you to create a custom search for the neighborhoods that you're interested in, would that be something that you would like to have? Very few, who's going to say no to that? And then that's an opportunity for you to connect with them and stay in touch with them. I'm not staging their home, not even if they ask me. So if Michael says, John, what kind of improvements should I make? My response to that would be, you know, Michael, that's a great question. And one of the services that I provide to homeowners who hire me is I go through their property and help them stage the property. And that's something that I would be glad to do for you once you've hired me. Now, general information, paint, replace carpet, you know you're gonna move, so start putting things in storage. When you move, you're gonna pack everything into boxes and you're going to put those boxes on a truck and you're gonna move. So assume you're gonna move and start packing now and put everything in storage that you absolutely don't need to have. That's just general information. I'm not gonna walk through the property and start staging and making suggestions, and I'm certainly not gonna point out anything negative. And before I leave, I'm gonna have an exit conversation, which is going to set up the next conversation, which is, Michael, thank you so much for the opportunity to see your home. You have a beautiful home, and I'm positive it'll sell. Before I leave, is it okay if I ask you a couple questions?
Sure, go ahead.
Perfect. You know, Michael, in my experience, most for sale by owners, now we're with a for sale by owner. Now, most for sale by owners have a game plan for how long they're going to sell their home by owner before they hire a professional like me. Is it okay if I ask you what your game plan is?
Yeah, it's going to be about 30 days.
Okay, cool. And by the way, I've asked that question on a Friday and had a seller tell me if it's not sold this weekend, we're listing it on Monday. You guys hear that? It's important. And I'm telling you that if you don't ask this question, they're not going to tell you. You're not going to be walking out the door and they're going to go, hey, by the way, we're going to list the house on Monday. You have to ask. Hi, Victoria. Now,
hey, John.
How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
It is such an honor to have you on my call.
Thank you. I'm here to say, don't forget.
Don't forget what?
Monday.
What's going on Monday?
Well, Monday we have a special guest at the meeting with Alan Waxman at 3:30.
I had forgotten about that.
Did you forget? Okay, and that's why I'm on here to remind you.
That's awesome. So who's our guest?
Our guest is Amber Rutherford.
Wow. That's awesome.
Pretty special.
Yeah. What time is that meeting?
3:30.
That's awesome.
4:30.
Cool,
and
cool.
For those of you who are not familiar with Amber Rutherford, her her and her husband run a successful team in greater Tampa Bay area. She is a mom, a mega agent, and a MAPS Bold coach. And she's going to be sharing the COVID-19 survival guide. So it'll be the top 10 ways to get business now. So definitely jump on, and she's an amazing coach. She has energy that is just infectious. So definitely, I mean, John, share some just incredible.
I think it's great. I love it. I absolutely will be on that call. She is one of the rock stars with MAP. She is an incredible Bold coach. And if you could, do you have a link? It's going to be via Zoom, right? Do you have a link that you could share with us?
Let me see if I can get on the link.
If you put it in the chat section, then we can copy and paste it to our calendars.
Yeah, let me get on right now.
Cool. So while she's doing that, let me finish the conversation with Michael.
Cool.
And Victoria, don't go anywhere.
Okay.
So, Michael, second question. You know, again, in my experience, most for sell by owners are selling their home by owner in order to save on the fee. Is that the reason you're selling your home by owner?
Yes, of course, John.
That makes sense. And
Sure.
I know that, thank you, Victoria. And I know that when we spoke, you mentioned that if a realtor brought you a buyer, you would pay them 3%, correct?
Yep, that's right, John. Bring me a buyer, you'll get 3%.
Love it.
$10,000 in your pocket.
Love it, love it, love it. So the difference between selling your home by owner and working with a professional like me is just 3%, not 6%, correct?
Sure.
Yeah. Now, if I see motivation, and remember, motivation typically shows up as frustration. And one of the ways that I can fish for frustration is, Michael, just out of curiosity, how long have you been selling your home?
It's been about 3 weeks now.
Yeah? Okay. Have you had any offers yet?
Just some lowball offers that I wouldn't even consider.
Okay. What kind of feedback are you getting?
Everybody loves my house, you know.
Yeah,
You
it's
see it.
it's a beautiful house, right? Yeah, of course. And good activity. You're getting lots of showings.
We had some good showings early on, but things have slowed down. I've gotten
Okay.
a ton of realtor calls.
Yeah. Okay. And just curious, if I could show you how I could sell your home for more money in less time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that?
Yeah, but not yet, John. I still want to give it another week or two here.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a full month.
Yeah. So forgive me if I'm being too aggressive, right?
Yeah.
And if you were to hire a professional like me, you would want to hire an aggressive agent, wouldn't you?
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm pretty aggressive. I'm also really good at follow-up, Michael. So that means I will stay in touch with you. I'm not pushy. I am pretty persistent though. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So Michael, I'll call you maybe once a week or once every other week just to check in.
Okay.
Yeah. And if there's anything you need, I'm a phone call away.
Excellent.
All right. All right, guys, talk to me.
John, should we role play if I had said yes?
Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, or would 5 be better for you?
There you go.
Hey, John,
Alex.
I have a question for you. Probably a new part of a script. While you were talking to him, you happened to mention your app.
Yeah.
See, what if he turns around and tells you, well, I already have somebody else's app? How do you kind of bump that person out?
I don't know. It depends on who they are.
Okay.
If it's another Keller Williams agent, I'm not bumping them out.
Right. Well, I'm using the Realtor.com app, so.
Well, that's a different conversation. So Alex, let me share with you what's a little bit different about my app. My app will actually allow you to track neighborhood activity, and it's a platform. It's connected to local restaurants and local schools, and it's going to be your remote control for real estate. It also uses artificial intelligence, which means that it'll give you the ability to look at properties that fit your criteria only. The app is learning what you like as you're searching properties. Doesn't that sound like that would save you a lot of time?
John, you're good.
Okay.
That was quick. I put you on the spot.
It's time on task over time. It's not a big deal. All right. Guys, did you get value today? Yes? Thumbs up?
Yes.
Heads
Always.
nodding. Yeah, make me feel good. Lie to me. Tell me it was awesome.
Outstanding.
All right. Listen, can you tell I'm glad it's Friday? I'm so glad it's Friday. And I am looking forward to seeing all of you Monday morning at 8:30. I am especially looking forward to seeing you Monday at 3 or 3:30, Victoria?
3:30.
3:30. Let's bring 300 people to Amber Rutherford, right? Thumbs up if you're in. All right, I just took a snapshot of that, so I expect to see all of you who put your thumb up on that call. Make it a great day.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much.
You.
Have a great weekend.
Yes.